All right, so today is all about Abraham Lincoln. We're here in Buffalo. The Albright Knox Art Gallery is right across the street here from us. Our first stop is Delaware Park here, where there's a monument called Young Lincoln. We're going to take a look at it. This is called Young Lincoln, and you can see he's seated on an oak log with an axe at his feet and a book on his knee. Okay, and the sculptor sculpted this sculpture with the intention of portraying Lincoln as he discarded the axe of manual labor and took up the book of statesmanship. So this is when he was a very young man, probably in his 20s, got away from his father around 21 years old, and he was a hard worker. He chopped wood. He was a surveyor at one time. He was a mail clerk. He was a grocery store clerk. Many other hats he wore in terms of jobs. And he came to a point here where he was in a transition here between the manual labor and the hard-working man into becoming this statesman, where he became a lawyer, a senator, and, of course, later President of the United States. Okay, Anna, where are we?
We are at the Buffalo History Museum.
Okay. And there is another monument here that we want to look at. The picture on your calendar of the Lincoln Memorial. It's in some ways, very similar, isn't it? This one's called Lincoln the Emancipator. This is the Buffalo History Museum we were talking about. And this one's called Lincoln the Emancipator. Why do you think it's called Lincoln the Emancipator? What do you guys think?
Because of the Emancipation Proclamation.
Okay, what was the Emancipation Proclamation, Anna?
It's been a while.
You're going to have to know this next year in U.S. History, 11th grade.
Wasn't this about how he was getting rid of slavery?
Yes, it was an executive order to get rid of or to actually outlaw slavery only in the rebel states, the southern states, officially. Obviously, later on, slavery was ended by the 13th Amendment, and it was after his death that it was actually ratified. What do you think that is on his lap? That's the Emancipation Proclamation. That's why they call this Lincoln the Emancipator. The statue is a replica of another one in Michigan, but what he's holding in his hand is the Emancipation Proclamation. What do you see that of the two sculptures that we've looked at so far today? What do you notice that's similar? We'll start with that. What do you notice?
Sitting down.
Okay, he's sitting down. This time he's sitting where?
Well, this time he's sitting in a chair. Last time he was sitting on a wall.
Yeah. What else? So he's sitting down. So the difference, a difference there is that last time he was sitting on logs. This time he's sitting on a chair, pretty formal-looking chair. He's dressed a little more formally, isn't he? This is obviously after that transition he was making from young Lincoln into the statesman that other sculpture, the sculptor of the other one, was talking about.
He's older.
Older. And what was that, Amy?
He has a beard.
He has a beard. So in the younger version, in the younger sculpture, or the sculpture from when he was younger, he didn't have a beard. He was clean shaven. This one he has a beard. And we know when he was president he had a beard.
Well,
there's a story behind that.
Yeah. He didn't have a beard when he first became president because there was a girl.
Actually, he did have the beard when he first became president, but it was about the girl, and the whole story we're going to get to today, the main part of our story today is going to be about that, the story about that beard. So save your thoughts, because This is Mary Bell B., and she's the Westfield Village and Town historian, and she's here to tell us the story about Abraham Lincoln, President Lincoln, and Grace Bedell.
Back in the time just before the Civil War, when Lincoln was running for the office of president, at that time, the Bedell family, Vernon Bedell was the dad,
Right.
and his wife and quite a few of the kids, all the
Okay.
he was a soap manufacturer, and but of course a lot of, half of his family were anti-slavery and half was pro, and their church split and all kinds of things. And
Right.
it was just getting awfully touchy, and luck would have it, he got called to help in Westfield with their soap factory. He came and was part of his family, and Grace was amongst them. He
Right.
was 11 years old. At that time, women, of course, didn't have the right to vote.
Right. Right.
But Grace was very, astute, paid attention to all the things in the family, discussions about politics and everything. She was definitely anti-slavery and for Lincoln and all this sort of thing. And as was her dad. A couple of her brothers were the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, he went to a place, where they have the signs and
Like a rally kind of
kind of
thing.
rally
Yeah.
type. And came back with one of these big posters that showed Lincoln and his running mate.
Okay.
And of course he was there at that time.
Right.
And she looked at him and totally then we started to grow whiskers, they call them, not beards, but whiskers.
Right.
At that time, and she thought, she comes and looked at how the shadow was in his face. He looked really good with a beard.
Yeah.
So she talked to her mom and says, I'm going to write to Lincoln. You do whatever you want. She did.
Yeah.
Dear sir, my father has just home from the fair and brought home your picture in Mr. Hamlin's. I'm a little girl, only 11 years old, but want you should be President of the United States very much. So I hope you won't think me very bold to write to such a great man as you are. Have you any little girls about as large as I am? If so, give them my love and tell her to write to me if you cannot answer this letter. I've got 4 brothers, and part of them will vote for you anyway. And if you will let your whiskers grow, I will try and get the rest of them to vote for you. You would look a great deal better for your face is so thin. All the ladies like whiskers, and they would tease their husbands to vote for you, and then you would be president. My father's going to vote for you, and if I was a man, I would vote for you too. But I will try and get everyone to vote for you that I can. Grace Bedell, October 15th, 1860.
Posted it, and 4 days later she gets an answer back from him.
Wow.
Dear Little Miss, your very agreeable letter of the 15th is received. I regret the necessity of saying I have no daughters. I have 3 sons, one 17, one 9, and one 7 years of age. They, with their mother, constitute my whole family. As to the whiskers, having never worn any, do you not think people would call it a piece of silly affection if I were to begin it now? Your very sincere well-wisher, A. Lincoln, October 19th, 1860.
He, then his train came through here for his inaugural thing in February 20th, I think it was.
Right. Now, where was the train station at that time?
Down approximately where the big one is now.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I have a picture of that. So,
Okay.
it's not when they were here, but
Right.
you can still see what it looks like.
Right.
Anyway, so he came through and they stopped here,
Right.
They had to get water and fuel and all that stuff.
Right.
And he talked to the people as they came on. There was like several thousand people down at the
Wow.
station
Okay.
in the mud or snow or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
This is February 20th,
this is coming up.
1861.
Yeah. and he talked a little bit to the people, and then he asked, he said, I have a correspondence from here, and her name was Grace Bedell, and he said, she's here, and someplace, and I don't know whether it was her brother or one, probably one of the brothers or something,
Right.
Helped to get up to the front row, and he, I guess he jumped down, picked her up, kissed her, and I grew his whiskers, and had her feel them, and she was so embarrassed by the whole thing. She ran all the way home with those flowers in her hand, and all the flowers fell off of them.
Oh, wow.
She was going to give them, of course, to Lincoln.
Right.
And it was quite an exciting thing.
What a story. Now, in 1861, he's on his way to Washington
to be inaugurated.
To be inaugurated as the president, first inauguration, president of the United States, and then 1865, the train comes back through with Lincoln on board.
Hi, this is John. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can be notified the next time we have a video available. For more information on the topic of this video, you can click the link or go to nationallawtons.com and read the companion article, which will give you more details, including what you might need to know if there's a Regents U.S. History exam in your future. Thanks again, and see you next time.